Namaskaraha. I hope I am audible. Vandetam madavaranendra vadanam madbhagadheya kritim shundadanda suchalanena jagatam mayantarayamayan vidravya pranati prasanna hridayo yonukta eva swayam rakshatyan vahamatmanoti virudam vaidyesha putrabhidham. So we will do a recap and then proceed with today's portion. Tachrutva gatayushamiva atmanam manyamanaha sanjivakaha. So the conversation was going on between Damanaka and Sanjivaka. So Damanaka comes and asks Sanjivaka if he has not even heard of Pingalaka and he is the all-powerful mighty king of that Vana. So once he listens to Damanaka, Tachrutva Gatayushamiva Atmanam Manyamanaha Sanjivakaha Param Vishadam Magamad. So he becomes very, very scared. Ahaja Bhadra Bhavan Sadhu Samacharaha Vachanapatushcha Drishyate Tadyadimam Avasyam Tatra Nayasi Tadavaya Pradhanena Swaminas Sakashat Prasadaha Karaitavyaha. So you have to ensure my safety from Pingalaka. Damanakaha bho satyam abhihitam bhavata nitiresha. Yes, it is indeed true. Why? Paryanto labhyate bhume samudrasya girerapi na kathanchin mahipasya chittantah kenachit vachit. So it is indeed very, very difficult to understand or know the limits know the depth of the mind of the kings. It is very, very difficult. Even one can find the limits of the bhumi or samudra or giri, but not know the limits of the heart of a king. Yavadaham tam samaye drishtva tatah paschat tvamanayami tathanushthite damanakah pingala sakasham gatvedamaha swamin natat prakritam sattvam. It is not an ordinary bull. This Damanaka goes and reports to Pingalaka. Now Pingalaka and Damanaka converse again. Sahi bhagavato maheshwarasya vahana bhuto vrishabhaiti maya prishta idamuche maheshwarena parituštena kalindi parisare shashpagrani bhakshayitum samadishtaha kim bahuna mama pradattam bhagavata kridartham vanamidam. So I have been, this is what the bull says, is what Damanaka reports. He says the bull has told that he is blessed by Lord Maheshwara himself and has been sent by Maheshwara to enjoy the fresh green grass that grows in and around Yamuna, Kalindi Parisare. So the entire Vana has been given, blessed and given to Sanjivaka by Maheshwara for his krida, for his joy and for his play. Pingalaka aha sabhayam satyam yatam mayadhuna na devata prasadam vina shashpa bhojino vyala kirane evam vidhevane nishanka nardanto bhramanti tatastvaya kim abhihitam. So yes, now I have known the truth. Shashpa bhoji. So a creature that feeds on grass. It is roaming around freely in this vana. That cannot happen without devata prasada. I have known that now. Damanaka aha swamin etad abhihitam maya yadetad vanam chandika vahana bhutasya matswaminah pingalakasya vishayi bhutam tadbhavana tadbhavan abhyagatah priyotithihi tat tasya sakasham gatva bhratrasnehena ikatra bhakshanapana viharana kriyabhirekasthanashrayena kalo neyaha. So I have told him that this vana is under the control of our Swami, the great Pingalaka, who is the vehicle of Devi Chandika, and you are our guest here and you are dear to us. So what is your role? What is to be done by you? Satasya sakasham gatva bhratrasnehena. So approaching the lion, going to him with a brotherly affection, you can spend your time together, taking refuge in the same place. You can live together with the lion in the same place. Bhakshana, Pana, Viharana, all this you can do freely. Tatastenapi sarvametat pratipannam uktancha saharsham swaminas sakashad abhedakshina dapayitavya iti tadatra swami pramanam. And he also accepted to all my terms and he delightfully told that he has to be given abhedakshina by you. That is, I have to make you give abhedakshina to him. This is what Sanjivaka has told and I have reported to you. and it is what you decide. You are the authority. Henceforth, tadatra swami pramanam. Tachrutva pingalakaha sadhu sumate sadhu mantri shrotriya sadhu. Mama hridayena saha samman bhavatetam abhihitam taddatta maya tasya bhayadakshana param sopi madarthe bhayadakshanam yachayitva drutataram aniyatam. So please bring him quickly, instantly, after ensuring my safety from his side. Madarthe abhayadakshanam yachayitva saha atra aniyata. May he be brought here. At antasar, so he now showers appreciation for Damanaka. Antasaraira kutilair achhidrai suparikshitaihi mantribhirdharyate rajyam sustambhairiva mandiram. So the way a temple is supported by fine pillars that are antasara, akutila, that are straight, up straight and solid. They are not hollow, empty. Akutila, they are straight. They do not have any holes. Achhidra and suparikshita, well examined. Evameva mantribhihi rajyam dharyate. Kidrishaihi mantribhihi. What kind of ministers? Those who are antasara, who are full of essence, who are not empty vessels. Akutila, who are not crooked, who do not have any defect in them. Achhidraihi, suparikshitaihi, and who are well examined and then appointed by the Nathacha. Mantrinam bhinna sandhane bhishajam sannipatike karmani vyajyate prajna swasthe kovana panditaha. So the acumen or the true talent of a doctor manifests when he treats a sannipataka jwara. Evameva bhinna sandhane mantrinam prajna vyajyate. So when the minister becomes instrumental in bringing together two different parties that are not friends, the two parties that are inimical. So Tadrishe samaye mantrinam prajna vyajyate swasthe kovana panditha. When everything is fine, hale and healthy, so everybody will be a pandita only. Damanakopi tam pranamya sanjeevaka sakasham prasthita saharusham achintayat aho prasada sammukhinaha naha swami vachanavashagascha samvrittaha tannasti dhanyataro. So he is very happy and he starts moving towards Sanjeevaka and delightfully thinks, Asmat Swami, Vachanavashagaha Samvrittaha. He has now turned very favorable. Prasada Sammukhinaha, he is looking to shower favors on me, and he has also come under the sway of my Vachana. Vachanavashagascha Samvrittaha. So Nasti Dhanyataro Mama. Nobody is more lucky than me. Amritam Sishirevanhir, Amritam Priyadarshanam, Amritam Rajasammanam, Amritam Kshirabhojanam. So Rajasammana is like Amrita, is like having nectar. Damanaka goes to Sanjeevaka. Sanjeevaka Sakasham Asadhya Saprashrayam Uvacha. So Sapranayam Uvacha, very affectionately he speaks. Bho Mitra Prarthitosau Maya Bhavadarthe Swami Abhayapradanam Dapitascha Tad Visrabdham Gamyatamiti. Param Tvaya Rajaprasadam Asadhya Maya Saha Samadharmena Vartitavyam. So Sanjeevaka Sakasham Asadhya. So having reached the place of Sanjeevaka, he talks very affectionately. Bho Mitra Asau Maya Bhavadarthe Prarthitaha. So he has been requested for your sake by me. That is, your request has been conveyed to him. Asau Swami. That Swami has been requested and everything is ready now. Abhayapradanam Dapitaha. And he has been made to grant Abhaya Pradana to you for your sake. That is also done. Tad Visrabdham Gamyatam. So you may proceed freely without any fear whatsoever. You may proceed freely now. Param Tvaya Rajaprasadam Asadhya Maya Saha Samayadharmena Vartitavyam. But then once you win the royal favor, Rajaprasadam Asadhya Maya Saha, with me, how you behave should be based on the terms and conditions that we are going to agree upon now. So we have a contract between us. You have to behave accordingly. Rajaprasadam Asadhya. Yesterday there was a question, Visrabdha. So Visrabdha is of course Tapratyanta form. It is the past participle form like Pathita, Khadita, Labdha. Okay, so Visrabdha. Dhatu Visrambha. Srambha pramade dhatu anavadharana pramadah. Okay, dyatha dhatoho. Then when you add the upasarga, of course, the meaning of the dhatu changes entirely due to the addition of an upasarga. So visrambha, visrabdha means free. So having complete trust without any worry. So srambha indicates avadharana, anavadharana, pramada, that is some kind of a lack of focus. But here visrabdha means having a very calm mind. There is no agitation here, whereas srambha indicates some kind of a problem in the mind. Here there is no problem, it is calm and smooth. That is the idea, visrabdha. I think we can now no, it is not ma gamyatam, it is visrabdham gamyatam. So nishanko bhut nishankam gamyatam. Gamyatam means you may go. Okay, so gamyatam, you may go freely. Visrabdham gamyatam iti param tvaya rajaprasadam asadya maya saha samayadharmena vartitavyam. So after attaining, winning over the favor of the king, you have to behave with me in accordance with our terms and conditions. Give me a moment. Ma gamyatam, vishrabdha ma gamyatam. No, there is no. Oh, visrabdham agamyatam. Is the patha agamyatam? So because that also could be right. So he could, Damanaka might say that you can come with me freely without any problem. So if there is a patha saying agamyatam, because I think here it is visrabdham gamyatam, that is you may proceed freely. It could also be agamyatam, where Damanaka says you may come freely along with me, I will take you. But there is no ma gamyatam. So either it is visrabdham agamyatam or visrabdham gamyatam. In fact, agamyatam looks more suitable. Param tvaya rajaprasadam asadya, this system. So we'll now continue with today's portion. Na garvam asadya swaprabhutaya vicharaniyam ahamapi tava sanketena sarvam rajyadhuram amatya padavim ashritya uddharishyami evam krite dvayorapyavayoho rajalakshmir bhogya bhavishyati uktancha. Na garvam asadya swaprabhutaya vicharaniyam aham api tava sanketena sarvam rajyadhuram amatya padavim ashritya uddharishyami evam krite dvayoho api avayoho rajyalakshmihi bhogya bhavishyati uktancha. So once you win over the favor of the king, garvam asadya, you should not become arrogant. So becoming arrogant, swaprabhutaya na vicharaniyam. So you cannot roam around as you like. Swaprabhutaya, like you are your own master without having any rules or anything like that. You are not supposed to roam around freely like that. You have to remember our samaya dharma. And what is that? Ahamapi. And what will I do in return for you? Tava sanketena sarvam rajyadhuram amatya padavim ashritya uddharishyami. So tava sanketena, sanketa is indication. So following your indications, based on your instruction, your indication, sarvam rajyadhuram, the entire burden of governing the kingdom, sarvam rajyadhuram, rajyabharam, amatya padavim ashritya. So what will I do? I am already the prime minister. I have been given the ministerial post by the king. So being in the seat of the minister, amatya padavim ashritya sarvam rajyadhuram uddharishyami. So I am going to be taking care of the entire governance, and I am giving my word that I will do it according to your wish. Tava sanketena sarvam rajyadhuram uddharishyami. So in accordance with your indication, after consulting you, I am going to be taking care of the country. So that means we are going to be the rulers. So that is our deal. And you have to be loyal to me. Evam krite. So if we do like this, what will happen? Dvayoho api avayoho rajyalakshmihi bhogya bhavishyati. So for both of us together, avayoho dvayoho api rajyalakshmihi bhogya bhavishyati. So the prosperity of the kingdom will become bhogya. So we shall enjoy the royal prosperity together. Hope it is clear. But then you have to remember this. What will happen when you do not pay heed to our samaya dharma? So this deal that we have, have amongst ourselves, if you are going to in some way not obey it, what will happen? Yona pujayate garuvad uttama madhyaman bhupa sammana manyopi भ्रश्यते दन्तिलो यथा यो न पूजयते गर्वादुत्तमाधममध्यमान् भूपसम्मानमान्योऽपि भ्रश्यते दन्तिलो यथा यः न पूजयते गर्वात् उत्तम अधम मध्यमान् भूप सम्मान मान्यः अपि भ्रश्यते dantilaha yatha. So here he is going to start off with another story, the story of Dantila. So he wants to remind Sanjeevaka that if you do not keep up your promise, you should recall that I am the prime minister and I am close to the king. Obviously, if you do not accord that respect to me, if you do not give that respect to me, you will perish like Dantila perished. Yaha garvad uttama adhama madhyaman na pujayate. So the one who does not treat respectfully uttama, adhama and madhyama janas, uttama, adhama, madhyama in the in and around the king, all those who are involved in royal service, they have a hierarchy, right? So uttamas are very close to the king and then followed by the madhyamas and then come the adhamas. So each category deserves a particular way of treatment. If you do not give that treatment by becoming too much arrogant, if you are going to ignore all these protocols and behave the way you like, saha tadrishaha janaha bhupa sammana manyaha api bhrashyate. Even if he is well, if he is in the good books of the king, bhupa sammanena manyaha, bhupasya sammanena saha manyaha. So he is very much deserving of the king's respect. He is honored by the king. Even then he will perish. Api bhrashyate yatha dantilaha. So the way Dantila perished, these people perish. Sanjeevaka aha kathametat. So bravi. Now Sanjeevaka is interested in the story. So he is asking, how is that? What is it that you are saying? I do not know. So like the Gomayudundubhi katha. So the gist of the katha was first presented in the form of a verse and then the story was elaborately told, right, by Damanaka. It was narrated elaborately to Pingalaka. Gomayudundubhi katha was narrated by Damanaka to Pingalaka. Now Damanaka is narrating another story to Sanjeevaka to remind him that he should not forget the rules of the contract. Dantila Gorambha katha. Astyatra dharatale Vardhamanam nama nagaram. Tatra Dantilo nama nana bhandapatihi Sakalapuranayakah prativasati sma. Tena purakaryam drupakaryam cha kurvata tushtim nitas tatpuravasino loka nrupatischa. Kimbahuna na kopik tadrik kenapi chaturo drishto shruto va athava satyameta duktam. We'll split up the sandhis. Asti atra dharatale. I am sorry, give me a moment. I will just a moment. I'm sorry, there was some background noise. I hope I am audible. अस्ति अत्र धरातले वर्धमानं नाम नगरम् तत्र दन्तिलः नाम नानाभाण्डपतिः सकलपुरनायकः प्रतिवसति स्म तेन पुरकार्यं नृपकार्यं च कुर्वता तुष्टिं नीताः तत्पुरवासिनः लोकाः नृपतिः च किं बहुना न कः अपि तादृक् केन अपि चतुरः दृष्टः श्रुतः अथवा सत्यं एतत् उक्तम् अस्ति अत्र धरातले. So in this dharatala is in this world, on this land. Vardhamanam nama nagaram asti. So there is a city called Vardhamana. Tatra dantilaha nama nana bhandapatihi. So there was a merchant, okay, who sold various types of goods and items. So he was nana bhandapati. Tadrishaha sakalapura nayakaha. So he was like the leader of that city. Sakalapura nayakaha prativasati sma. Tena dantilena purakaryam nrupakaryam cha kurvata tushtim neetaha tatpuravasinaha lokaha. So tena dantilena tatpuravasinaha lokaha Vardhamana nagara vasinaha janaha, those people who lived in that nagara, tushtim neetaha, they were pleased by this dantila. So dantila ensured that all their whatever requirements was there, whatever had to be done for the welfare of those people, all that this dantila performed. There was no dosha at all. So he provided them with a lot of good things and comforts, and whatever was needed to be done for the upliftment of the nagara, it was performed by dantila. Tasmat tena dantilena yete janaha lokaha iti se janaha ityarthaha tatpuravasinaha vardhamana nagara vasinaha janaha tushtim neetaha. So they were satisfied by this dantila. And what did he do? He did two things. Purakaryam nrupakaryam cha kurvata tena. So kidrishena dantilena. So how was this dantila? He did two types of jobs. One was purakarya and other was nrupakarya. He was serving both the people and the king. Purakaryam kurvata dantilena puravasinaha lokaha tushtim neetaha. The people were satisfied. Evameva nrupakaryam kurvata dantilena. So the same dantila by whom nrupakarya was performed, royal duties was also performed by him, and because of that nrupatihi api tushtim neetaha, the king was also very satisfied with him. Kim bahuna, what more is to be told? Nakopi tadrik kenapi chaturaha drishtaha shrutaha. So tadrik chaturaha, so that kind of an intelligent man, kenapi na drishtaha shrutaha. No one had heard of such an intelligent fellow who could manage both these things, that is, enjoy royal favor as well as command respect among the people. Usually it was not possible for somebody in royal service to gain popularity among the people of the land. But then this dantila had achieved this unusual feat. Athava, so tadrik kenapi tadrik chaturaha. So that kind of an intelligent man, kenapi na drishtaha shrutaha. No one had heard or seen such a person. Athava satyameda muktam. So it is indeed rightly told. What is told? Narapati hitakarta dveshyatam yati loke janapada hitakarta tyajyate parthivendreihi iti mahati virodhe vartamane samane nrupati janapadanam durlabha karyakarta. Narapati hitakarta dveshyatam yati loke janapada hitakarta tyajyate parthivendreihi इति महति विरोधे वर्तमाने समाने नृपति जनपदानां दुर्लभः कार्यकर्ता. It's a straightforward verse. Narapati hitakarta loke dveshyatam yati. So what is it that is usually observed? Narapati hitakarta. So the one who does hita to the king. Narapatehe hitakarta loke tasya कीदृशी स्थितिः स्यात् इति चेत् सः लोके द्वेष्यतां याति. So he invites the dvesha of the people. He is usually not respected by the people at all, because somebody in royal service, what is the usual attitude? So impress the king and grab as much as possible from the king and forget about the people. So usually such a bureaucrat, so in today's words we can say such a bureaucrat is not respected in the country. So the common people don't respect him. Evameva Janapada hitakarta parthivendreihi tyajyate. So the one who is involved in the welfare of the people, in the Janapada. Janapada hitakarta parthivendreihi maharajaihi tyajyate. So he is abandoned by the king. King does not have any use for such a person who is just interested in people's welfare. Iti mahati virodhe samane vartamane sati. So there is a great virodha between these two, right? Between Narapati Hita and Janapada Hita. A huge opposition is there. The one who goes on this side cannot be on this side, and one on this side cannot go on this side. So there is a samana mahan virodha, right? Mahati virodhe vartamane sati. So when there is such a huge opposition that is existing on these sides, Drupati Janapadanam Karyakarta Durlabha. So a Karyakarta who does the work of both the king and the Janapada is indeed very, very rare. Right? Drupati Janapadanam Karyakarta Durlabha. So such a Karyakarta is very, very difficult to find. Athaiva gacchati kale dantilasya kadachit vivahaha sampravrittaha tatra tena sarvapura nivasino rajasannidhi lokascha sammana purassara mamantya bhojita vastradibhis satkritascha tato vivahanantaram raja santah purasva grihamaniya abhyarchitaha. Left versus right wing. Okay. Athaiva gacchati kale dantilasya. So as time went by, with time passing, what happened one day? Kadachit dantilasya vivahaha sampravrittaha. So sampravrittaha. So there came a day which was the marriage occasion of this Dantila. Tatra vivahavasare vivahe tasmin samaye athva vivahakale tena sarve puranivasinaha rajasannidhi lokascha sammana purassara mamantri bhojitaha vastradibhihi satkritaha. So during that time, what did he do? Tena, by Dantila, sarve puranivasinaha, all the people of the Nagara, and Raja Sannidhi Lokascha, and all those people who were employed in royal service. Raja Sannidhi Lokaha, Lokaha Janaha, Sannidhi means what? Closeness. The ones who are close to the king, the ones who are in royal service. Both these and both the ones serving in the palace and the common people, they were both Sammana Purassara Mamantriya. They were invited with respect. After inviting them and giving them proper respect, they were fed. Bhojitaha vastradibhihi satkritaha. So they were also honored by giving them vastra and other things. Vastradibhihi satkritaha bhojitascha. They were fed very well. Tataha. Then vivahanantaram, after the vivaha, Raja Santah Puraswagrihamaaniya Abhyarchitaha. So Raja api Abhyarchitaha. Even the king was well received and he was paid respects. Okay. And Raja, not just the Raja, Santah Puraha. So he was invited along with his queens. Those who were his Antahpuracharis, they were also invited. Santahpuraha Raja Swagriham Aniya Abhyarchitaha. So he was served by inviting in him to the house. So the king visited the house of this Dantila, then one can imagine the power that he enjoyed. Right? That the Swayam Raja Tasya Griham Agataha. Okay, and he was served well. Then what happened? अथतस्य नृपतेर्गृहसमार्जनकर्ता गोरम्भो नाम राजसेवको गृहायातोऽपि तेन अनुचितस्थान उपविष्टोऽवज्ञायार्धचन्द्रं दत्त्वा निस्सारितः सोऽपि ततः प्रभृति निश्वसन् अपमानान्न रात्रावप्यधिशेते अथ तस्य नरपतेः गृह सम्मार्जन कर्ता गोरम्भः नाम राजसेवकः गोरम्भः नाम राजसेवकः गृह आयातः अपि तेन अनुचितस्थाने उपविष्टः अवज्ञया अर्धचन्द्रं दत्त्वा. I'm sorry, there is a typo here. It's not avajñaya, 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 ardhachandram dattva nissaritaha. Sopi, saha api, tataha prabhriti, nishwasan, apamanat, ratrau api, na ratrau api adhishete. Atha, then, tasya narapatehe grihasammarjana karta. So when the king was invited, along with the king came Gorambha. Saha kaha rajasevakaha. He was also in service of the king. He also had a menial job. He was griha sammarjana karta. So he was in charge for cleaning the Rajagriha. Drupatehe narapatehe griha sammarjana karta. So he was doing sammarjana. He was involved in the cleaning of the royal palace. Saha grihayatopi. So he was also invited and he had also come home. Okay. Griha ayataha api tena anuchita sthane upavishtaha avajñaya ardhachandram dattva nissaritaha. Tena nissaritaha. So he was sent out. Nissaritaha. Kena dantilena saha nissaritaha. So he was sent out, forcefully sent out by Dantila. How? Avajñaya, with a huge disrespect. He disrespected him and ardhachandram dattva nissaritaha. Ardhachandra is to hold somebody's neck like this. So this is ardhachandra, right? This comes to the shape of a crescent moon. So you hold somebody's neck like this and push him away. Why? Anuchita sthane saha upavishtaha. So he sat down. He sat down somewhere where it was not his due seat. Okay. So he sat down at a place that was probably he did not deserve that. Okay. So he just overlooked the hierarchy and sat at a seat that was probably allocated to somebody else. And this Dantila was really worked up seeing this. And what did he do? Avajñaya. He dishonored him and very, very disrespectfully ardhachandram dattva nissaritaha. So he just pushed him away. Okay, grabbed his collar and pushed him away. Sopi tatah prabhriti nishwasan apamanat ratrau api na adhishet. From that day onwards, apamanat nishwasan, because of that apamana that he had encountered, nishwasan, having a huge sigh, okay, sighing all the time. Ratrau api na adhishete. He's not able to sleep even at night. He's having a big problem. Athammaya tasya bhandapatehe rajaprasadahani kartavya iti chintayan naste. Athava himanena vritha sharira shoshanena न किञ्चिन्मया तस्यापकर्तुं शक्यमिति अथवा साध्विदम् उच्यते। कथं मया तस्य भाण्डपतेः राजप्रसाद हानिः कर्तव्या इति चिन्तयन् आस्ते। So his only thought was this. Evam saha आस्ते. Katham maya tasya bhandapatehe rajaprasada hanihi. Now he is enjoying rajaprasada, that fellow Dantila. I have to somehow destroy it. Rajaprasada hanihi. Kasya tasya bhandapatehe dantilasya rajaprasada hanihi kathamapi kartavya. Somehow I must destroy that favor that he is enjoying from the king. Kathamapi. Evam iti chintayanna aste. So this was the thought that was going on his mind constantly. But then, see, although there was this kind of a thought, he also had another kind of a thought. Athava kimanena vritha sharira shoshanena. What is the use of me tormenting my body by not having proper sleep and by not devoting time to other useful things? Why should I trouble myself? Sharira shoshana, sharira pidana, why should I do? Kinchin maya tasya apakartum shakyam. I cannot do anything. He is a really big person and huge bhandapati, and I am after all a griha sammarjana karta. What can I possibly do, and how could I harm him? Sadhvidam uchyate. It is indeed, observed rightly. What is it? Yo hyapakartumashakta kupyati kimasau natra nirlajjaha utpatitopi hi chanakashakta kim bhrashtrakam bhanktum. Sorry, I think there was a problem when rendering into PDF. It is bhanktum. It's fine here. Yo hyapakartumashakta kupyati kimasau narotra nirlajjaha utpatitopi hi chanakaha shakta kim bhrashtrakam bhanktum. Yaha hi apakartum ashaktaha kupyati kim asau naraha atra nirlajjaha utpatitaha apihi chanakaha shaktaha kim bhrashtrakam bhanktum. So he is just thinking to himself, yaha apakartum ashaktaha. So the one who is incapable of doing an apakara to somebody else, that is, without getting into trouble, able to teach a fine lesson to this Dantila. I'm not able to do such a thing, not able to do an apakara. So, yaha apakartum ashaktaha, the one who is incapable of doing an apakara, saha naraha, asau naraha, that man, nirlajjaha kim kupyati. Without any sense of shame, what right has he got to get angry? He can just be angry, that's all. He cannot accomplish anything with that anger. Nirlajjaha, shamelessly. Kim kupyati? Kimartham kupyati? Vritha kupyati. Just like that, getting angry and, doing sharira shoshana. What is the point? Chanakaha utpatitaha apihi bhrashtrakam bhanktum shaktaha kim. He's talking of a chanaka. Chanaka is a gram. Some kind of a gram, let us say. So when you season, you on a frying pan, we pour some oil and then let us say then add some gram to it. What will happen when you apply heat? It starts utpatana. Utpatana means it starts moving up, right? It starts splitting, right, and makes that noise and starts coming up. But just because it does that, bhrashtrakam bhanktum shaktaha kim, can it destroy the bhrashtraka? Bhrashtraka is the frying pan, is that vessel using which you fry. So can it destroy the bhrashtraka? It's just making empty noise, that splutter, okay, the sound that comes, and it is trying to move up and down, but it cannot accomplish anything. Evameva yaha apakartum na shaktaha kim kupyati. Why should he get angry? So what is the use of his anger? No point. Then athakadachit pratyushe yoganidragatasya rajnyaha shayyante marjanam kuruvan nidamaha ahodantilasya mahadriptatvam yad rajamaheshim alingati. Then kadachit pratyushe Yoganidragatasya rajñah shayyante marjanam kuruvanna idam aha. Aho dantilasya mahat driptatvam yat rajamahishim alingati. Now, once upon a time, once what happened, Pratyushe. So it was early morning. Yoganidragatasya rajñah. So the Raja was now in Yoganidra. Yoganidra, not in the serious sense of the word, but just half sleep and half awake. Okay. So Yoganidragatasya rajñah. So rajñah shayyante. So near the bed of the king, who was half asleep and half awake. Marjanam kuruvan, cleaning up that space. So this Gorambha was cleaning up the space around his bed. Okay, and he noticed that the Raja is not fully awake but not fully asleep. He uttered this. What did he say? Aho dantilasya mahadruptatvam. My God, what can I say about the arrogance of Dantila? He is too arrogant. Is mahat druptatva, high arrogance. Why? Yatu rajamahishim alingati. That he embraces the queen. That he embraces the queen. Alingati, alinganam karoti. Kam rajamahishim alingati. So he embraces the queen. My God, what kind of arrogance is that? So he utters this aloud. Tachrutva raja sasambhramamuttaya tamuvacha bho gorambha satyametadyaditvaya jalpitam kim devi dantilena samalingita iti. Tat shrutva raja sasambhramam utthaya tam uvacha bho gorambha satyam etat yat tvaya jalpitam kim devi dantilena samalingita iti. So, having heard that, Raja Sasambhramamuttaya hastily gets up and says, Bho Gorambha, oh Gorambha, is it true? Tvaya jalpitam, whatever has been uttered by you, kim tat satyam, kim yetat satyam, is it true? Kim Devi dantilena samalingita, has the queen been embraced by Dantila? Did Dantila hug our queen? I mean, hug, the Devi, kim Devi dantilena samalingita. Gorambha Deva Ratri Jagaranena Dyutasaktasya me Balan Nidra Samayata Tan Navednikim Mayabhihitam Raja Sershyam Swagatam Yeshatavad Asmadgrihe Apratihatagatis Tatha Dantilopi Tat Kadachidanena Devi Samalingyamana Drishta Bhavishyati Tenedam Abhihitam Uktancha. Gorambha praha. Gorambha says, Deva Ratri Jagaranena Dyutasaktasya me balat nidra samayata. Tat navedmi kim maya abhihitam. Oh, I don't know. Okay, he says, you are asking me if what I uttered was the truth. I don't even know what I spoke. Maya kim abhihitam tat navedmi. I do not know what I uttered. Why? Ratri Jagaranena mama me Dyutasaktasya mama. So I am somebody who is addicted to Dyuta. Aham Dyutasaktaha Tadrishasya mama Dyutasaktasya mama Ratri Jagaranena, because of being awake throughout the night, Balat Nidra Samayata. I somehow was overpowered by sleep. Even when doing this work, somehow I was overpowered by sleep. I don't even remember what I just told. Tan navedni kim maya. Now Raja Sershyam Swagatam. So now the king has become jealous and he says to himself, Eshaha tavat asmadgrihe apratihata gatihi. So this fellow has got he has got no restraint, right? There is no control over his movement inside our house, right? Because he freely comes and goes. There is no rule for this person. So he definitely moves around the house with a free pass. So he must be knowing what happens here. तथा दन्तिलः अपि अप्रतिहत गतिः कुत्र अस्मद्गृहे in our royal palace. Dantila is not stopped by any Dauvarika at any stage. He has a free pass. Gorambha also has a free pass and Dantila also has a free pass. Tat kadachidanena devi samalingyamana drishta bhavishyat. So, Nishchaya Rupena, definitely, he could have seen Devi. Samalingyamana Devi means the queen when she was in an embrace. Okay. So, Samalingyamana, Kena Samalingyamana Dantilena. So, by Dantila, when the queen was being embraced, Kadachit Anena Drishta. So, I think she was seen by this fellow when she was being hugged by Dantila. Definitely. Tatena idam abhihi. Tasmat karanat saha evam uktavan. That is why he has uttered such a thing. So immediately the king comes to that conclusion. Abhihitam uttered. Marjanam is cleaning, sweeping. Okay. यद्वाञ्छति दिवामर्त्यो वीक्षते वा करोति वा तत्स्वप्नेऽपि तदभ्यासात् ब्रूते वाथ करोति वा यद्वाञ्छति दिवामर्त्यो वीक्षते वा करोति वा तत्स्वप्नेऽपि तदभ्यासात् ब्रूते वाथ करोति वा. So मर्त्यः मनुष्यः यत् वाञ्छति दिवा मर्त्यः वीक्षते वा करोति वा तत् स्वप्ने अपि तत् अभ्यासात् ब्रूते वा अथ करोति वा. So मर्त्यः, so मनुष्यः यत् दिवा वाञ्छति, whatever he wishes for during the day. Diva is an avyaya. Okay. So diva naktam, when we say naktam, it means ratrau. Okay. Evameva diva, during the day. It's an avyaya. During the day, martyaha yat vanchati, whatever he wishes for during the day or he sees. Diva yat vikshate, whatever he says, he sees or whatever he does. Diva yaha yat karoti, tat swapne api tadabhyasat brute. Because of abhyasa, because of repeatedly doing that same thing, tasya abhyasat swapne api tadeva brute. That is what he utters during his dream also. Atha karoti, or he does. He either talks about that or he performs something during his dream based on whatever he has gathered during the day. So I have to somehow take the words of this Gorambha seriously. Is what the king decides. Tathacha shubham va yadi papam yandranam hridi samsthitam. Shubham va yadi va papam yandranam hridi samsthitam. Sugudham api tadnyeyam swapnavakyat tathamadat. Shubham va yadi papam va yat nrunam hridi samsthitam. Sugudham api tat nyeyam swapnavakyat tatha madat. Yadi shubham va papam va. So good or bad thing. Drunam hridi yat samsthitam. That which is there in the heart of a person. Tat sugudham api. So even when it is well protected, it is kept as a secret in the heart. Swapnavakyat tatha madat jneyam. So it can be known either through swapnavakya, by observing what he does or utters during his dream. Swapnavakyat athava madat, when he is intoxicated, that will invariably come out of his mouth. So even if a well-guarded secret, gudham api trinam hridi, manushyanam hridi yat vartate, yat samsthitam bhavati, tat shubham va bhavatu, papam va bhavatu. So may it be a good thing or a bad thing, it will come out in swapna or when one is intoxicated. Madat swapnavakyat nyaya. Now, athava strinam vishaye kotra sandeha. So anyway, what Gorambha says is also true. And apart from that, I know this about women, so they cannot be trusted. So there are going to be a series of shlokas that are going to advise about how not to trust a lady. Srinam vishaye kahatra sandeha. Where is the doubt? When talking about the character of woman, jalpanti sardhamanyena pashyantyanyam savibhramaha hridgatam chintayantyanyam priyah ko namayoshitam. Jalpanti sardhamanyena pashyantyanyam savibhramaha hridgatam chintayantyanyam priyah ko namayoshitam. Jalpanti sardham anyena pashyanti anyam savibhramaha hridgatam chintayanti anyam priyaha ko nama yoshita. So striyaha anyena sardham jalpanti. So they talk nicely with one person. Okay, with one person they talk nicely. Anyam savibhramaha pashyanti, and they look at another person. Okay, savibhrama, vibhrama has a lot of meanings. Vibhrama can mean haste. Vibhrama can, in this context, it means anything that is done with an amorous intention. Okay. So with with the intention of any amorous act. Okay, so is understood by this word vibhrama. So savibhramaha pashyanti. So they look at him with particular intention in the heart. Savibhramaha anyam pashyanti. Yena sardham jalpanti tam na pashyanti. Anyam pashyanti. So they talk with somebody and they look at somebody and enjoy, looking at him and and conveying things to him through their glances, etc. That is done with somebody else. And hridgatam anyam chintayanti. And in their hearts, they are all the time thinking about somebody else. Yoshitam kaha priyaha nama. So who is it that is really, really loved by the Yoshit? Okay, Yoshit is three. Okay. So who is lovable for the women? Cannot know. They always have multiple interests. Anyacha. Ekena smita patala rucho jalpantyanalpaksharam vikshantenya kumudini phullola sallochanaha durodara charitra chitra vibhavam dhyayanti chanyam dhiya kenetham paramarthatorthavadiva premasti vamabhruvam. Ekena smitapaṭaladhara rucho jalpantyanalpaksharam vikshantenya kumudini phullola sallochanaha durodara charitra chitra vibhavam dhyayanti chanyam dhiya kenetham paramarthatorthavadiva premasti vamabhruvam. The same idea as the previous verse, that they talk with a person and look at somebody else and then think of another person in their heart. Same thing is, the same idea is conveyed in a lot more beautiful way in this verse. It's the same thing. Ekena smita pataladhara ruchaha jalpanti analpaksharam vikshante anyam itaha sphutat kumudini phulla ullasat lochanaha dura udara charitra chitra vibhavam dhyayanti cha anyam dhiya kena itham paramarthataha arthavat iva prema asti vamabhruvam. Smita patala adhara ruchaha ekena analpa aksharam jalpanti. Jalpanti means vadanti, bhashanam kuruvanti, sambhashanam kuruvanti, talk ityarthaha. Kaha jalpanti smita patala adhara ruchaha. Now ruchi is kanti. Okay. Adhara is lip. Okay. And patala is some kind of rose pinkish color. Okay, patala. So Anjaneya is called Patalalan, right? Anjaneya Mati Patalananam Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham. So the face of the monkey, the pink rose that is found, on the face of a monkey, that is Patala. So the same rosy lips. Okay. Smita Patala Adhara Ruchaha. So these women who have a very, very, very nice smile, okay, on their rosy lips. Okay, tadrishyaha striyaha ekena purushena saha. Okay, with one man, analpaksharam jalpanti. They keep talking. Not alpakshara. Alpakshara is very less, right? Analpakshara means they abundantly talk. They easily talk with him and flirt. Smita patala adhara ruchaha ekena purushena saha analpaksharam jalpanti. Itaha anyam vikshante. So another person, not this person, but anyam vikshante. They look at him, and here who look at so vikshante, kaha vikshante, sputat kumudini phulla ullasat lochanaha vikshante. So they look at him, and how lochana means eyes, right? Ullasat kumudini phulla ullasat lochana means they having the eyes of kumudini pushpa. Kumudini is lotus, okay, or a kind of lotus. So kumudini phulla ullasat lochana. So their lochana is like a fully bloomed kumudini pushpa, and with that kind of delightful eyes, they look at another person. Dura udara charitra chitra vibhavam anyam dhiya dhyayanti. And they think of another person in their heart. Dhiya, buddhya, manasa, dhyayanti, manasa chintayanti, kam anyam kamapi. Saha kidrishaha punaha chitra vibhavaha. So his vibhava, his sampatti, okay, his sampatti is huge. He has a great, let us say, he's very, very rich, super rich person. Chitra vibhavaha. Parantu tasya charitram kidrisham iti chet dura udara charitraha. So dure udaram charitram yasya saha dura udara charitraha. So he is, not very noble. Okay. So nichaha itirth. Okay. Dure udaraha means when you look at him from far, okay, he looks like a noble person, but not a noble person. But that does not matter to these people. Saha chitra vibhavaha asti. He is very rich. Okay. So durodara charitra chitra vibhavam anyam kamapi dhiya chintayanti, dhiya dhyayanti. So itham evam prakarena vamabhruvam prema arthavadiva paramarthataha kena asti. So vamabhruvam prema. So vamabhruhu means someone who has a very, very charming bhru. Okay, bhru is this eyebrow. Vama again has many meanings. Means left, means crooked. But in the case of Vamalochana, it means beautiful, charming eyes. Vamabhruhu is a beautiful brow. So Vamabhruvam prema. So their love. Arthavat paramarthataha kena asti. In reality, in the truest sense of the word. In the truest sense of the word, meaningfully, towards whom is it there? Tesham prema arthavat kena asti. So with whom is their love truly there? We don't know. That's the idea. We can stop here for today. Let's see if there are any questions. No questions here. Somebody raised. Yes, Nagaratnam Mahodaya. Namaskaraha. You can unmute.
Bhagini, namaste.
Namaste. Yes, you have raised your hand.
Na Bhagini, Shamyatam Bhagini.
Oh, okay, okay, no problem. PG Mahodaya.
Namaskar. Can you please go to that slide where Dantil insulted that Goramba? Can you please go to that slide?
Okay. Yes. Ardha Chandram Dattva Nisarika. Yes.
Can you please share your screen so that I can see that slide? I have one doubt on that slide.
Yes. Yes.
This word Nishwasan.
Nishwasan. Nishwasan means, a sigh. Okay. Perumuchi we say in Tamil. Okay. I don't know. Any other words? Nice English words. Help me, please. A deep sigh. I think sigh is the word in English. S-I-G-H.
Okay.
Okay.
Dhanyawad.
Any other questions? No questions, I think. Find it tough keeping a straight face listening to this description about fellow woman. Okay. See, you will have to, then you, throughout the text, we are going to be having a lot more verses like this. Okay. Many verses. And okay, I think we can discuss this in the upcoming classes as to why there is such a description, and after all, it is not very bad. So I think we are going to encounter many such verses in future. Even in this Dantila Gorambha Katha, I think there are 10 more verses. Okay, in the same spirit, we will see in the coming classes. We can close now. Dhanyavadaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.